Hello everybody and welcome to Chart Forecast. My name is Zero and thank you for tuning in. This is the very first episode of this series and I hope to maintain this every week for as long as I can. This series, Chart Forecast, will be centered around the Billboard Hot 100 and more specifically, predictions and unofficial analysis of the top 10, debuts, losers, gainers, returns and dropouts for the upcoming week. For example, this week, we'll be talking about the week of January 28th. The predictions are supplied by Chart Essentials on Twitter, their link will be in the description, and the format for these videos is inspired by the miniseries Ashres had done a few years ago prior. His link will also be in the description. Without any further ado, let's get into our top 10. And for the first time this year, we are getting a number 1 debut with Flowers by Miley Cyrus. The song had an incredible start on streaming and sales, and even had a solid radio deal to boot, which made it an easy lock for the number 1. The streaming looks to be stable so far, and the radio has nowhere to go but up, so expect this song to stay at the summit for a long time. This debut makes Kill Bill by SZA remain at number 2. Even though it gained massively in points this week thanks to stable streams and a big radio gain, it is simply not enough to close the margin with Flowers, and it might be too late at this point for the song to reach the summit. The former number 1, Anti-Hero by Taylor Swift, moves 2 spots down to number 3. Even though it is fairly stable, it lost a little bit of points this week due to streaming not really remaining as consistent as it once was, and it also seems like the song has peaked on airplay. The same cannot be said for our number 4, Creepin' by Metro Boomin, 21 Savage and The Weeknd gaining a new peak. The song is getting the Airplay Gainer Award this week for the biggest radio gain in percentage out of every single song on the chart. The song is primed to be a multi-format smash, so it has once again nowhere to go but up, as long as its streaming also stays as consistent. At number 5 we have Unholy by Sam Smith and Ken Petras, as it is continuing to slowly go down as its streams and radio have peaked. At number 6, I'm Good Blue by David Guetta and BB Rexha, losing 2 spots despite no percentage change. The song is very close to going number 1 on overall radio, however its streams are just not big enough to justify any gains despite gains in radio. It is almost the exact same case for Die For You by The Weeknd at number 7, which has even less sales despite a multi-format gain on radio. The song, however, seems like it's way past its streaming peak and is unlikely to go anywhere in the top 5. At number 8, we have our second top 10 debut of the week with Shakira BZRP Music Sessions Volume 53 by Bizarrap and Shakira. The song had a massive start on streaming, especially on video, but also had a little bit of radio and some good sales to boot. This becomes Bizarrap's first ever top 10 on the Hot 100 and Shakira's first since Beautiful Liar with Beyoncé back in 2007. Moving on to number 9 with Rich Flex by Drake and 21 Savage losing 2 spots. The song lost a few points this week, mostly due to the streaming slightly lowering, but the radio is actually gaining pretty well and might eventually make up the margin, especially if a music video is later on the way. And closing out our top 10 as it was by Harry Styles with Residue Streams and Airplay. It is likely to exit the top 10 this week as there is competition that we will be talking about later in this video. Now moving on to our losers and dropouts. For the sake of this series, I'm only going to be talking about songs that move up or down 5 or more spots. And for our dropouts, we actually do have a decent amount of long-time charters, starting with Fall in Love by Bailey Zimmerman leaving this week. He also took a hit for Rockin' a Hard Place, down 5 spots to number 22. In the dropouts, we also can see The Young Boy Never Broke Again debut from last week, Black, as well as Victoria's Secret by Jax and Hold Me Closer by Elton John and Britney Spears, both leaving after very respectable runs. Unfortunately, it seems like neither of the songs are anywhere likely to make the year-end list for 2023. What also took big hits this week are remnants of album bombs, both in dropouts and losers. Starting off with SZA, who sees Gone Girl and SOS both exit the chart. She also has Seek and Destroy, Ghost in the Machine with Phoebe Bridgers down 5 spots to number 85, and Used featuring Don Toliver losing 10 spots down to number 93. Drake and 21 Savage also saw some similar movements with both On BS and P and Millions featuring Travis Scott both leaving the chart. They also see Spin About You losing 5 spots to number 64, and Circle Loco losing 6 spots to number 72. And in similar album bomb leftover territory, we have Lavender Haze by Taylor Swift losing 5 spots to number 35. This song, despite the big radio gains, doesn't seem to be making much of a splash on streaming. For our other losers, we have songs that failed to make a big impact on the Hot 100. Starting with Down Home by Jimmy Allen losing 26 spots to number 99, Freestyle by Lil Baby down 7 spots to number 75, Half of Me by Thomas Rhett and Riley Green down 11 spots to number 74, and Star Walking by Lil Nas X down 8 spots to number 60. And the rest of our losers are big hits from 2022 that are now leaving, starting with You Proof by Morgan Wallen down 5 spots to number 20, Super Freaky Girl by Nicki Minaj down 9 spots to number 29, Tomorrow 2 by Glorilla and Cardi B down 5 spots to number 30, Until I Found You by Steven Sanchez lost all of his streaming surge and is down 8 spots to number 31, Wait For You by Future featuring Drake and Thames is down 6 spots to number 32, Lift Me Up by Rihanna is down 12 spots to number 36, The Kind of Love We Make by Luke Combs is down 6 spots to number 39, She Had Me at Heads Carolina by Cole Swindell is down 5 spots to number 40, I Ain't Worried by One Republic is down 7 spots to number 46, About Them Time by Lizzo is down 6 spots to number 48, Vegas by Doja Cat is down 8 spots to number 49, and finally Son of a Sinner by Jelly Roll is down 7 spots to number 50. On to our gainers, as we do not have any re-entries this week, and starting off with the biggest projected gainer, Players by Cold Ray. This big gain is mostly caused by an uptick in radio, however the song seems to have pretty decent streaming to boot. The song's success across multiple radio formats makes it very likely to become a hit later this year. And for another big gainer, Snooze by SZA up 22 spots to number 26. The song has been going super viral on TikTok and has hence received a surge in streaming. It is unclear whether this song is going to get shelved, as currently both Nobody Gets Me and Kill Bill are being actively promoted at radio, but it's interesting to see the single potential of this album come to fruition. Speaking of album bombs, Superhero Heroes and Villains by Metro Boomin, Future and Chris Brown is up, as it seems like it has also gone viral on TikTok. Mind you, this song has not been pushed to radio at all, as currently Creepin' is the single choice even on rhythmic and urban radio formats, but if they do decide to push it, it just might become a big hit as well. Meanwhile, Grupo Frontera seems to continue their viral surge onto the charts, as firstly No Se Va on their own is up 8 spots to number 61, Que Vuelvas with Karin Leon is up 10 spots to number 43, and Bebe Dame with Fuerza Regida is up 7 spots to number 24. None of these songs really have big radio, even for the standards of what Latin and regional airplay can give to a song. However, it also means that they can have added life if they get pushed to these formats. And for the rest of our gainers, we firstly have Ditto by NewJeans up 5 spots to number 91, this won't be the last time we talk about this group in this video. Love You Better by Future is up 5 spots to number 83, Shut Up My Mom's Calling by Hotel Ugly is up 10 spots to number 66, Sure Thing by Miguel is up 8 spots to number 41. It still doesn't seem like this song has been resurfaced to radio in any capacity, so this might just become a big hit as well if they do decide to do that. Calm Down by Remy and Selena Gomez is up 5 spots to number 33, and Escapism by Ray and 070 Shake is up 7 spots to number 21. This song also has potential to become a top 10 hit, as it is continuing to gain across pop radio and also seems to have slightly increasing streaming week after week. And with all of that, we are left with a pretty decent list of new arrivals. We're not going to be talking about Flowers by Miley Cyrus or the aforementioned BZRP Music Sessions Volume 53 by Bizarrap and Shakira. So let's begin with number 95, Back End by Finesse 2 Times, which is debuting mostly off of radio and some streaming to boot. Generally, this type of song fizzles out in the 60s on the Hot 100, so this might stick around for a few weeks, but don't expect it to become a really big hit. It was a huge streaming hit at one point, especially on YouTube, but that seems to have faded since. Coming back to NewJeans at number 94, we have their follow-up single to Ditto, OMG. This one is debuting with almost the exact same attributes that Ditto had, which means some good streaming, a little bit of sales, and literally nothing else. At number 86, we have Heart to Heart by Mac DeMarco. Now this one seems to be very Spotify carried, and the trajectory for those songs is always a little bit unpredictable. They can either stay around for a little while in the lower half of the chart, or eventually get pushed to proper radio formats and become sizable hits, like Until I Found You. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this song. We have Vibe by Taeyang featuring Jimin. This song are by soloists from Big Bang and BTS respectively. It marks the first chart entry for both artists involved, and also the first time Big Bang has appeared on the Hot 100 in any capacity ever. Now this one, opposite to the NewJeans song, is very much sales carried, but also has some pretty alright streaming, even if it doesn't mean that the song will stick around by any means. But considering it is distributed by Interscope, it is not out of the question that they might attempt a push on pop radio. At number 77, we have Nonsense by Sabrina Carpenter. This one is also pretty Spotify carried and has seen some questionable movements, but nonetheless it is here thanks to a pickup in streaming and a little bit of radio. If it does get some good radio pretty fast, it might just stick around and even eventually get a 20-week run. At number 63, we have On What You On by Moneybagg Yo and Glorilla, debuting mostly off of streaming but also has a little bit of sales. The song did receive curiosity spins from rhythmic and urban formats, however I doubt it is going to be pushed as a single onto these, as currently Quickie by Moneybagg Yo was recently sent. So apart from that outlet, I don't think the song is going to stick around. It already started to dip pretty hard on streaming and it is unlikely to come back. And those are our debuts this week. Thank you very much for tuning in to this episode of Chart Forecast, the first ever one. If you have any tips or suggestions, anything I can improve on, please let me know in the comment section down below. It is my first ever time doing a format of this sort. So please do add suggestions in the comment section down below. I'll look at what's feasible for this series and how I can improve it. Thank you very much again for watching, and hopefully you have a good rest of the week.